Oh,
Not yet. Here we are. We're live. I just want to see if this is all working first.
woo.
So we've come on a couple of minutes early because I have a visitor, a guest
Yes.
on the decision table today.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure that everyone's going to be able to hear the droplets of wisdom that's going to come from the decision table today. Let's see. There we go. That's what it looks like.
Cool.
Okay, so we're there. Wisdom that's going to come. Oh my goodness, it's coming. Look, it's there.
Wow, this is looping. I love it. I can hear the live here.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Perfect. So sound check, everyone. Sound check done. We're not using headphones like I'm used to. So it was, look, there's a few people on here. If you're wanting to comment, because we like comments, don't we, Ethan?
Yes.
We love comments.
If I see any comments I like, I'll answer.
We'll answer them, and Ethan will answer them personally. There we go.
Okay.
So, but if you don't give StreamYard permission, then you don't know who it is that you're talking to. And
So
do you like it when you can actually know that it's not Facebook user, but a person?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I like to know that I'm actually talking to a person and not a random thing.
Cool. Me too. We officially start in 4 minutes, Ethan, but should we just...
We're going.
We're going. Oh, did you hear Siri saying she didn't get that? Siri, you didn't get the notice that we're going to be starting now.
Bad Siri.
Look, I might just turn that off, Ethan, if that's all right. Okay, there we go. Come on, Siri, go away, please. I don't know how to do that, but there we go.
Just
all
turn
right.
it off. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the table, Ethan, the decision table. Like, for those that are listening today, those that are going to be listening to the replay, the decision table, the decision table here, we just have conversations. There's no judgment.
No judgment, no bias, just
having conversations, right? And Ethan, the reason I wanted to invite you to the table is we have some amazing conversations.
Yeah,
we truly do. You agree?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And I kind of wanted to just press live to our conversations so that others can enjoy some of the things that I think, oh my goodness, long time since we've seen Jake. Tell Jake, I think it's time to come over, Jake, and say hello at least.
Say hello, man.
Yeah, dude. So good to see you on here. But here on the decision table, like seriously, we just there's things and conversations that often aren't spread on an open platform. And
I agree.
I kind of want to share it with the world because you've got some good things to say and some different aspects to things that I just think are so brilliant. I know, right? Miss you, says Jake.
I agree, man. I do miss you.
There you go, Jake. Ethan misses you too. So do I, by the way. And
she's lying. I miss you the most.
He misses you the most? Oh my gosh. Seriously? I don't know, Ethan. We might have to have a conversation around this one. All right. So here on the decision table, we've been having conversations around this month, right? Around what I believe, Ethan, is the need for a new approach to leadership. And I think we can be better leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always room for improvement.
I love that. Is that kind of one of the things that you think of as you continue life? Like going, oh, there's always room to improve?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were thinking, and I love the way that you think, if you were thinking, how can a leader be a better leader? How do you think they could be a better leader?
Well, I was going to say they should think about those they're helping to lead, not just themselves.
Oh, so an out focus, not in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, looking after themselves is great and all, but you can't really lead if you can't look after those you are trying to lead.
Oh, I love that. That is so good. Why is this so important, do you think? Like if we start thinking beyond ourselves and we think about the ones we're looking after in better ways, why is this important?
Because you could help many more people with that kind of view than with the view previously used.
Yeah. So we get different views when we are looking through other people's lenses, helping other people. We realize that maybe maybe where I needed help, someone else needs different kind of help, right?
There's always a different perspective.
Oh, that's so good. A different perspective. I love that. I really, truly do, because I think one of the things about you, Ethan, is you definitely have a different perspective.
I don't like going like anyone else when it comes to anything.
Yeah, where's that come from?
I just always liked improvising, not actually sticking to a rule.
Yeah. And is that so that you just have the freedom to say and be whatever that looks like for you?
Yes, but partially I just didn't like following rules most of the time, especially at school.
I wonder how many of our listeners don't like following rules either. As they watch this in the replay after, I bet you will get a few comments of people who don't like listening to rules. I don't know that I've always loved listening to rules. Here's the thing I don't like listening to rules with.
If they make no sense.
Yes.
If they contradict themselves. Yeah, I know that one.
Oh my gosh. Like I
felt
really
that before when I was doing something.
Yeah. Because it's not like it doesn't sit true to what you believe or think, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I so get that one. And I don't know that I like rules when there's an injustice to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really gets to me. Okay, Ethan, let's think about this. You said, I like being me. I'm different. And I've known you for a little while now, just a little.
I mean, you've known me my entire life.
I have the privilege to.
Scary.
Is that?
No, just
tell me more about that, Ethan.
Just for you, because you've seen all sides of me.
I have, but I love all sides of you, and I've journeyed a lot with you, and I know I've said this so many times with you, but it's a truth that you're one of my heroes, because I've been on a journey with you that not many have had to face that journey.
Yeah, it is quite the journey.
That's quite an understatement. In how you said
it's quite the adventure. There you go.
It's definitely an adventure being in your life. You
like the word adventure.
I do.
You used it a few times on lives. I've seen some of your lives, actually.
Were they okay?
Yeah, I had a quick look through them.
Well, there you go. Thank you. Thanks for being a fan of the decision table.
I even looked at your last decision table thing.
Oh, was that the one with Dee? She was really good.
Yeah.
Amazing, hey. What was it that you liked from it?
You looked kind of out of it for some of it.
Wow, seriously? Maybe it was because I'd been up early, because I had talked to Juliet in Zimbabwe for an hour and a half beforehand.
Zimbabwe,
so,
great
it was Saturday morning, and usually most people sleep in a little bit, but I did not. Okay, so let's think about this a bit more. You do bring some differences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over life, it hasn't always been easy for you. We've spent a lot of time in a particular place. Where would that be?
Hospitals.
Yeah, hospitals. And so that was a huge part of your journey, right? What did you learn from being in a hospital a lot as a kid growing up?
Well, that life is very, very precious. Extremely so. And for those who don't think it, well, spend enough time in hospital and you'll see very differently.
And so what did you say? Life is a what?
Very precious thing.
Very precious thing. You know what? I think more people over this last year, it's been a little bit challenging for many.
Especially through COVID.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and I know. COVID, yeah, you can. Okay. You can say whatever you want to on the decision table. This is your place. You're the man of the hour today.
I don't know whether I should get political. It's not really my field anyways.
Sometimes I think people get political even when it's not their field, right? Is that a wise thing?
There's only one thing I say. I don't like Trump.
Okay, so moving on now. Fortunately, he's not in there anymore, Ethan. So Joe Biden's in there now.
I wonder if he'll do any better.
Well, that's the question that I think is on everyone's mouth and thinking and hoping he will.
Yeah.
So there's always hope, right?
But that's what you said earlier. What this place is about.
Well, I think it's interesting. We've got to hear other people, and there'll be people on here that don't agree with what you just said then. And I think that's part of this new approach to leadership, is that it's okay for you to believe what you're believing.
There's no judgment here. If you don't like what I say, that's fine.
Exactly.
I won't dislike you for doing
Exactly. But how often though, you think about it, how often are we making decisions, or we're only inviting people to the table that agree with us?
that agree, so they're always gonna like what we're doing.
Oh, yes.
I don't like people who only invite those who will only see their side of the story. It's great to have someone who sees your side of the story, but you also need someone who doesn't.
I agree. Try not to shake that too
Sorry.
much, because
just-
you're right by a microphone,
Yeah,
and everyone's
I
going to think
remember
like
halfway
there's a
through.
tornado or really bad wind, and we might,
Sorry,
yeah,
I just had to do something for a moment.
it's all good. It's your water. I get it. So going back to hospital times and life being precious, I think that's sometimes the thing that you learn, right? Whoa, when you've got
It was just
challenges,
trying to hit the wall. So.
it's all right. It's all good. I know we don't have a lot of space here, but just make it work. When we've got a lot of challenges going on in life, right, Ethan?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that I think is interesting is when there is challenges going on, is that you work through that, but those that are around you become really precious, like you say. Like they help you to get through it.
Yes.
To go through those tough days.
Yeah, I can say you were probably one of the biggest ones at that.
Oh, thank you. I did spend many an hour non-stop
I don't think you went
at the
home
hospital.
many times.
I did not, because here's the thing, because there were a lot of people who saw you, weren't reading the notes, would give you wrong medication if I even left to go to the bathroom.
Hallucinations. It's great.
So for your care and to give you a voice in hospital, I had to be there 24/7, and that we learnt was very, very good for you.
There would have been a very different outcome if not.
Well, we nearly lost you a few times because medical people felt they knew better than I did on you. And even though, and no, I'm just for a disclaimer, no medical person, I get it. But there were sometimes when we had already had reactions to things.
Yeah.
I knew that story. And the problem was there was a new doctor on the case. There was a new person in the room.
You would always have to chase them all.
Yeah. So sometimes that was...
she is a super mom. You're right.
Thanks, Nikhil. I don't know about a super mom, but I really love championing the person who, and in Ethan's case, he really taught me why you need to advocate for people that don't have a voice. And there were many a time when, for a long time, Ethan, you didn't even talk. We didn't even know that you would talk, and we signed to you.
What was my first word?
Yeah, do you remember that first word?
Was it supermarket?
It was supermarket. And you said it how many times? Do you remember?
Maybe 3 or 4 times.
No. So you said it one time. This is the first time in a 4.5 out of nowhere. I was in the car. You were driving with me. I was driving to physio.
Didn't you stop all of a sudden once I had said it?
Well, I nearly crashed the car because I was in so much shock. Because all of a sudden, from the back end of the car, there was this voice that said supermarket. And I was like, did I just hear that right? And I didn't hear it again. And then we were driving past, again, that exact place that we had stopped at, and you said supermarket. It was hilarious. So there were those moments, right? Like that you had no voice literally because you couldn't speak, and you were very, very frustrated.
Sign language.
You did.
For a time, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I can't do it anymore.
I don't know. Sometimes I think you still do a little bit of signing when you are in a crowd and you want my attention.
I had to use it with someone at school because no one knew sign language. And I said, well, I remember a little bit. I might be able to help.
Yeah. So we use sign language. That was one way for you to communicate. And I think this is the thing to do, right? So you might do it differently. It's like, let's look at different ways in which maybe you can communicate. So another way you did, I don't know if you remember, but we used photos all the time or pictures.
Oh, yes. That was
You loved storyboards, didn't you? It was a good way for you to communicate, right?
Help.
It did. Because you would
definitely
point to
a super mom, yes.
Thank you, Tanya.
Awesome. Thank you.
So awesome, Ethan.
Thank
is.
you.
He's definitely awesome.
I know I'm awesome.
There we go. But that's the thing. You do know you're awesome because you've had to work hard. You know who you are. But that doesn't mean you don't get tough days, right?
Hmm.
Because sometimes it's not as
Certainly
easy.
tough days.
Sometimes that smile on your face only lasts a little while, not the whole day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to pretend to smile.
How do you do that?
Lots of practice at school.
Tell me more about that bit.
I had to pretend I was happy most of the time. I just liked school, so
You really did dislike school, didn't you?
every day I'd come home absolutely bawling out my eyes because I just hated it.
I don't know that you were bawling your eyes out, because I have to say there were comments
There
like...
were some times where it was wrong, yes.
Mm.
But most of the time,
I don't know that you were bawling your eyes out, but you really didn't like school.
That
You
is
made
true,
it
that is
very
certainly-
clear that you didn't like school. Do you
I-
remember when you were leaving after a term at school? Do you remember what you
did I
said?
say so long suckers, or was that
Yeah, you
Dad?
did. So long, suckers, as eat my dust eaters.
Oh yes, that was
Yes,
a fun
as we
one.
were, well, Dad was reversing. No,
And then
going
we
out of the
blasted
driveway.
some music, if I remember.
yes. So you make it quite clear when you don't like something now. And you've been able to communicate. And you know what's interesting about you, Ethan? Do you realize that the part of, like, you were born and you had a brain that decided that,
The part of my brain which has like language and all that,
yeah,
that's gone. That's like,
but it isn't gone because you're talking. Crazy, huh?
yeah. But what I mean is, our theory is that it's somehow still working, even though that part of my brain's pretty damaged.
Yeah, like, so there's we'll read that in a second. There's half of your brain that's totally brain damaged and speckles on the other side. And what we were told was that half that is totally brain damaged is the half where you're meant to be speaking from. What you did was learn different ways to wire to other ways you can speak, other ways you can communicate. And I think that's I know I use my hands. I use my hands a lot.
You're a very
it's the
Italian
Italian
person.
side of me. Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But no, here's the thing. We are all different, and we've got to learn different ways in which we can bring that out, right? And I think this
A neural
we're going to
pathway.
do
Thank
this.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
You rewired, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had to, because otherwise there's not a way that you could have spoken, right? You've found other brain cells to now link to get those words out of. And I think sometimes as leaders, if we bring it back to that, how we could be better leaders, Ethan, are leaders that realize that maybe that old way of doing things
Needs to be changed.
needs to be changed. Maybe that for leadership, that if we...
For it to evolve, it needs to change.
Yeah.
There will be no change. There will be no evolving of anything.
I love that. And that's part of what I think is the need for a new approach, is evolving leadership.
Though I am not saying the old ways are bad, I'm just saying all things need to grow.
Oh, all things need to grow. I totally, except for my stomach. I really prefer if
Yeah,
that
and
didn't grow.
mine is, it's not a pretty sight.
It's not a pretty sight.
No,
so,
no.
so I guess that statement would be a bit wrong then, because we don't want all things to grow, do we?
All things except for my stomach. There you go. On the fly.
But it's an interesting thing. I do believe, I agree with you that there is a need for change. And I think that there are some things...
I agree. That is a great comment.
Tanya goes, except for mine too. Haha. She's relating to us, Ethan. She totally
Oh.
is. She also says another comment earlier. Maybe we should go there. Do you want to read it? This one here.
I'm not very good with reading.
know, but you're
nowadays.
pretty
Oh,
good.
great.
Just go for it.
I haven't
There's
read out
something
loud.
in that when it comes to leadership.
Sure.
Sometimes we have to persevere.
Persevere and dig deep to become leaders out for ourselves
And of others.
and of others. That's
So-
a great comment.
It is. Hey, what do you like about that?
It's just inspiring. It's a great. You could really quote that.
Okay, that's like one of those Twitter things.
Motivational
or,
speeches or something.
A meme,
Yeah.
hashtag, persevere, dig deep, hashtag dig deep.
And I
One
also
of those
like that
moments.
comment there about how did you rewire.
This is coming from Germany, Ethan.
Now, honestly, I don't know. didn't want to give up yet.
I think you
to
had
keep going.
exactly. You say it so well. A desire to keep going.
I can't really give you a concrete answer because honestly, at the time, I was just a kid.
I know.
I don't know.
But you had someone who was in your court.
Yeah.
Had your back.
I had inspiration.
That goes. You know what? Like that pathway didn't work. Let's find another one. And we just tried everything, didn't we, Ethan?
Emotionally, I was at the end of my rope at some points.
You were.
Even Mum knows that. And I try not to say it too much, but, well, since some people might want to hear the story, it's very heartbreaking to be in hospital for so long, for many years and years, watching as other things go on and, well, you're stuck in a hospital.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like maybe someone else is thriving and doing really well.
Yeah.
And you're getting left behind.
Yes. And plus, it's kind of painful to only be able to have jelly sometimes and never be able to eat anything. And
the restrictions. Yeah. Good point.
That was fun.
Good point.
And barely being able to walk. That was also good.
Yeah. So a few things from that I think that we can take from how, if we're going to be better leaders and bring some change, how can we not leave people behind? How can we take more people on the journey with us?
Try and make it very inclusive for people easier to get into such a group like this, and also help make them believe it's a great idea for them to be here.
Oh,
a good kind of group of people who not just believe in them, but desire to help them ease their day to day.
Oh, that's so wise, Ethan. I love that. How are you getting involved in what we're doing? What's your new role?
I'm the ambassador of, is it Decision Velocity?
Voice Advocacy.
Voice Advocacy, sorry.
Foundation,
yes.
Yeah. So
I never liked the word foundation, I'm not going to lie.
Well, it gives us something to build on, right? The foundation.
I know. Foundation of whatever we're going to build on. But I just actually never liked the word.
Yeah, I get you. I love the fact that you're going to be the ambassador and that you're having this, we've got a comment there. You're getting distracted. I love this conversation. It's Carmen. Kerry Marie Moore, you truly are the best mama ever. Oh, I just love my kids. And one of the things I have to say,
and chocolates.
Thank you, Carmen. But like, honestly, I never had kids. And I know I said this to you one time, but I never had kids to just they go over there. I always wanted kids to come on the journey with me and be a part of what that looks like. You were always
inclusive.
Yeah.
And you didn't mind if we didn't want to go certain places. You wouldn't force us most of the time.
No, and it was like if you gave me better reasons to why maybe you could stay home that day, then I would listen to that, right? And I love what she says. Let's keep continuing reading this bit. You truly, whoops, I hate it when it does that.
Don't.
Sorry, that was me. But if it moves too fast, we miss it, see? So you truly are the best mama ever. And Ethan, your honest viewpoint is so inspiring and you speak volumes when it comes to leadership. You really, truly do, Ethan.
I try not to lie nowadays. I used to a little.
Did you?
Yeah, but that was mostly
I don't know that you actually can lie.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. But I can always tell when you're lying.
Can you?
I think I can. Okay, we might need to have an off-the-line conversation around this one.
Okay, now I've got myself in the hole.
No, you have not. It's all good. Your empathy towards others is next level. Do you know there's funny you say that because, I might get a new hairdo or
I always seem to realize it.
You do. Or
Dad never does, though. I'm surprised.
Well, that's a whole difference.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Okay, let's not. But here's the other side of it, right? Like, I can tell you that you'll come out of nowhere and just go, hey, Mom, just checking in on you. Are you okay?
And sometimes I hear you cry, so I come on.
You do. And you'll always know those days when I just need you around. I love it. I hope I get to meet you one day soon. I hope so too, Carmen. That would be so awesome.
When all this lockdown's down.
I know, seriously. Although I have to say, you don't mind it so much.
It doesn't affect me that much. I love playing games, so this is all good.
Okay, so Catherine says that's awesome. Tanya says you're such an inspiration, Ethan. Such hard times in hospital has helped you become the awesome young man you are today. So true. So very, very true. And I think that's part of the learning, isn't it, Ethan?
Well, yeah, there's always more for me to learn.
Yeah. And when you learn more, then when you're giving out of who you are, and as your role, say, as an ambassador, I think that's part of why you're the ambassador for Voice Advocacy Foundation, right?
Yeah. Well,
come on.
You gave me the idea to help out, so
I did. But here's the thing. Because you have such a heart that likes to give, and you want to use those things that you've been learning, right, to help others. And maybe it might be just one person that you say something and you're willing to be on like a conversation today and they hear you.
There are some moments I'm still angry about in my past that I've done.
But aren't we all? Like, yeah, I think there's always something.
Obviously, all people have that.
You've got like something you're working on, or something that is maybe a weakness
that
you go back to.
Still somewhat funny.
Do you?
The Oompa Loompa bit at the hospital.
That's probably something. Yeah. Should we share it, or is that?
I mean, you can if you want.
Because I don't want to upset other people.
Yeah.
It could be upsetting, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So sometimes the things that we think maybe shouldn't be said out loud so much.
Though to be fair, that was because I was a child and also I have no filter. So
all of those things.
Honest opinions, yes. I don't really have much of a filter.
Yeah, I know. But that's actually what I like about you. Because I get to hear the truth. I get to hear an aspect that often sometimes someone filters out before they even say it.
Usually people have to fudge the truth a bit to keep to normal social norms, but I just can't do it actually.
But I love that. That's the best bit. Hey, did you see this one from Danielle? She says, Kerry Murray, are you familiar with a new app called Clubhouse? I am, and I think I've got about 30 followers on it.
I think I'm annoyed about how familiar I am with it. I haven't used it.
I did not know.
But I am very familiar because Dad talks about it nonstop.
He does, doesn't he?
Clubhouse is great.
I think it's kind of a big distraction, Clubhouse, but so many people love it. I think you guys could host a room, is what she's saying.
Oh.
It could be an interesting concept.
Maybe.
Oh, look who has said something. Do you want to read that one?
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks.
Ooh, no one else knows because they might not be seeing this. What are
you? True. Love you, Ethan.
There you go. Some extra love really for you there today, Ethan. Danielle, look, she's got some laugh. You know, what do you call
Laughing those? Emojis.
That's the one.
Emojis, Mum.
Emojis.
I know you're
Michelle loves emojis. Whatever. Just some little respect here, young man.
You have quite a lot of wisdom.
Oh, just quite a lot. Okay, good.
Just not a lot of age.
What was that last comment? Sorry,
Nothing.
Ethan. I don't know that everyone heard that last comment. Yeah, you just watch it, dude. What's Dad's what does that say?
What's Dad
do and do not note it? What dads do?
Yeah, you're right. Notice. That does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Look, it comes from being on the sidelines most of the time when it comes to big talks. I don't like picking sides.
Yeah. That's a fair call.
I like listening.
What if leaders could listen more, Ethan? Would that be a good approach? Do you think they could listen more?
Yeah, that would be a great approach.
It would be, right? How do you listen more?
Just don't speak up for a while and just listen. Listen to both sides of the argument.
Why do you think we don't listen to both sides sometimes?
Because we become too biased on either side.
That was worried.
Now, that can go in many different directions with all kinds of conversations, but I'm just saying that genuinely.
Yeah.
And it could actually help with certain things.
Yeah. Love that.
Thank you, Michelle, for another emoji. A crying emoji. It's great. Thank you.
Is that a crying or a laughing?
I think that's a laughing or a crying.
I think you need some glasses because even
my
I could see that.
Is getting
and my
crap.
age is, not as young as you, as you've mentioned.
Dude, my eyes are really not that well nowadays.
Well, I wear these not because I love wearing glasses.
I should probably get prescription glasses?
I don't know. All these are blue blockers, and it just
I
helps.
actually don't like the blue blockers.
Oh, I didn't
They
need
make
that
me-
before.
They make me feel sick sometimes.
Yeah, well, I just find when I'm looking at screens like intently like this.
And thank you for your comment,
Oh, who? Nikhil?
Nikhil.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I couldn't say your name that well.
that's okay. I find it hard to say too.
And
so
thank
don't
you
worry.
for saying I love your fighting spirit, Ethan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you think you've got a fighting spirit?
I try.
Yeah. What if leaders had more of a fighting spirit? What would that look like?
I think there'd be a lot of people who are not just very famous because of their success, but because they desired to help lots of people.
Oh, that's so
With-
good.
Not just what they're teaching, but with the way and their perspective on life, on how to teach.
I love the way you think, Ethan. That is it's so true, right? Like when you fight for yourself and your own rights, it becomes kind of bitter. It becomes yuck, right?
You
But if-
become jaded to it. in that
Jaded.
sense,
Yeah. That's such a good word.
If that's the right word to use.
Oh, it's so
I'm
the right
very
word.
unfamiliar with most.
I
big
don't know. I
words.
think you're very familiar. You're way more familiar with me. I'm dyslexic, and sometimes you and Dad use these words, and I
read
go,
back
"Wow!"
to front, bro. It's.
I know, but it's good.
Yeah.
At least you get to the point.
Look, I just don't like failing.
Yeah, and maybe that's
Except
part
with
of that
books.
fighting.
Books I can
fighting spirit.
totally ignore.
No, you.
I
Well,
don't-
what have you been doing the last few
I read
weeks?
comic books. That's different.
Yeah, but what have you been doing every day? Even though you don't like
Not
reading?
every day.
Well,
Reading. Yeah.
sorry, as consistently as possible, right? now.
There you go.
Mm.
Don't lie to the good people.
I won't lie to the good people. You heard me here. Disclaimer, it was not every single day, but you've been doing it way more regular. That's the truth.
Yes. Ooh, there's a new comment.
Oh,
I love your wisdom, Ethan.
I'm so moved. Like good on a Sunday morning.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to improve and bring some sense of wisdom to every conversation.
You do. Actually, you do it naturally, Ethan, because you have a way with words. It's funny because you go, well, I don't really I don't know all these big words, but you and Dad, honestly, Dad's always used
It comes
big
from
words.
listening to you guys and kind of learning certain situations you can use certain words in. And I was able to always find a way to get out of, well, conflict. Yeah, that would be a good word to use.
Conflict. I think you've taken like my way of navigating conversations and then using Dad's big words, and then you've got like this amazingness that then you bring as well on top of it, and
Yeah.
you've just, I don't know, you've created this amazing young man that I just, like I said,
Well, I
you
have
know,
a bit of a temper. I can't deny that.
really,
I do.
I don't see it very often.
Certain people can really irk me, and I try not to lose control.
So what if we were better and as leaders that we could use that energy?
I mean,
because
I'm
I think
certainly
all of
calmer
us,
than
right?
Dad.
Poor Dad. We
I kind of feel bad how much.
I think maybe we should give Dad a chance on the decision table. If
Oh, yes.
anyone would like to have Taki
If I
on the
weren't here,
decision
he
table,
was actually going to come.
he
up
was going to come on here. He
here.
was
But
my
he
backup.
woke me up early.
Yeah.
A friend was going to come anyway.
Well, he's still coming.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
We just made sure that you
yeah,
could be at the table.
I'm here
first.
for you.
Did you hear
to
that?
talk
He's
to.
here for you this Sunday.
I hadn't finished, but yes, I am here for you, all of you. I
Were
know.
you telling me off then? I haven't finished.
No, I was saying I hadn't finished my conversation. Now I have to go with that now.
Okay. But you'll be hanging with your friend after this.
Yes, I will.
He's been a great friend of yours, by the way.
Since we were kids.
Yeah. Like even like you've been to, that was right from
Was
memory.
it primary school?
It was primary school, and that was
I always
that
forget
public one that you
the-
went to that time.
Ugh.
That was at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
5 of us. Yeah.
There was a little incident in the
What about that
player.
guy?
Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, I fell in a hole.
You did.
I was sitting there for about an hour, however long it was. And I literally looked up at the sky and started laughing like a maniac.
those around you weren't laughing. Some of the kids were traumatized.
They were traumatized.
Yeah.
For me, I was just like, oh, okay.
So just to give clarity around what he's talking about, was he was in the schoolyard with
And thank
his
you
friends.
for loving this story so far.
Yeah, and that's Kelly from up the road.
Oh, cool.
Say hi.
Thanks, Kelly.
She says, love this. So we were, Ethan was in the schoolyard. He was at a 5 Dock public school. And so the kids were just playing in the schoolyard, and he was in his wheelchair. And they were pushing him around, and he didn't have a belt or anything on the wheelchair. The person who was pushing
me around, by the way, was my best friend's sister at the time.
It was Amy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was being pushed around. We'll read those in a minute. I just want to finish the story.
I'll get back to your comment in a moment, Kelly.
Yeah.
I promise.
So he was being pushed around, and Amy bumped into a hole. Is that right?
Yes.
And Ethan went a little bit flying.
I got slingshotted out of the chair into the hole,
which was traumatizing for Amy and the kids that were around. But because of the rules and regulations, no one was allowed to pick Ethan up. In fact, I spent so much time coming back and forward into the school.
It was infuriating, but at the same time, I just gave up getting angry.
I remember one time you had this operation, and I had to I felt like I just lived in the classroom, because anytime you needed moving your legs, they were in plasters, to go to the bathroom, all sorts of things, changing, lifting you, moving you. You weren't allowed to stay in the same position, or otherwise you'd get bed sores, or chair sores, or whatever sores, butt sores, those moments.
All kinds of sores.
Yeah. And so the only person who was allowed to move you was me, because it was
family.
Well, it's the rules and regulations. So after that incident, we moved you to Mrs. Patterson's school.
Oh, yay. She was annoying. Anyway.
She was annoying because she would tell Ethan to do things. And I don't know, if you tell him, you're likely to back him up in a corner. But if you take him with you, and I think this is kind of a good point, Ethan, that I think often old school leadership was telling.
I dreamt of many ways to annoy her into leaving.
You did. Let's not go there.
No.
But I think the lesson from it was, Ethan, that she was very much a telling person. Ethan, you should be doing this. You've got to do this.
She sounded exactly like that.
I know. I was there. I was in that classroom with you. And that's not the best way to get the best out of you.
Unfortunately, I saw her during my high school years as well.
You did.
She came to the school I was at, and I'm like...
So interesting enough, what if we were to be more effective as leaders, less telling and more taking people on that journey?
Yes.
That'd be good, right?
And also, before I forget, thank you for the hi,
yes.
Ethan.
Sorry. Yeah. So... That's
Thanks,
2.
Kelly.
Yep, perfect. Christopher also says, so that was the one that was talking to you when I was on a call. Christopher Voss. Awesome to see you and Ethan on together. I know, we're a good couple here, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hello, Ethan. Nice to see you again. Christopher from Michigan. Remember the father of 9. That's right.
I still want to know how you can deal with that many children here, man.
Do you think that would be just a little bit much for you to cope with?
I mean, look, kids are cool, and I know that it's difficult at first to wake up in the middle of the night, look after the kids, but it's really worth it, I would assume. I mean, you wouldn't have had kids otherwise, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be really worth it.
Good point. I don't know. Would it?
Would it?
I mean, this is the question, really, isn't it?
I'll leave it to the audience to answer that question.
Oh, good. I love that. Yes.
I don't want to get to
have lots of kids or not kids, to have a few, to have none even. Some people choose not to have any.
And I'd love to hear Christopher's reasons as to why he wanted 9 children.
There you go, Christopher.
9.
I know, it's a lot, right?
Look, if I were to have kids, I'd only want 2.
Here's the thing I know about Christopher is he would have had more, but his wife... I
heard about this bit.
Yeah, like it was probably time to say she had had enough because there were challenges and things like that.
Yeah, man.
So maybe he could have had 15 children. I mean, who knows? How many kids would have you wanted? I always wanted a big family, but I have to say...
That comes from your past as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Just how you well, how you were adopted into many families and you always wanted one stable family, you know, that you could start up your own.
So true. Like, and
I
that's
guess
why
it comes
kids
from
are.
that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Look,
I think that's
every kind of thing that every person has a desire sometimes comes from childhood and such.
or
Anyways, I'm
environments, right?
not a psychologist.
I don't know.
just
You're pretty good
stating
at this thing.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like, a lot of our environments has a huge impact on
Mhm.
how we think, on what we do. And in the case of that, yeah, I had very unstable background with families, and I often would be in a family, Ethan, where they wanted me to be a certain way.
Hmm.
And I think that's where one of the reasons why I find it hard being told what to do all the time, because there were
I'm lucky
consequences.
not to be in a situation like that.
Yeah, but there were
You made
consequences.
sure that was happening.
I did, because that's part of being able to advocate, to give you a voice. You know what? One of the hardest things is that the two girls, your sisters, I wanted them to have a voice. I want them to be able to
you
speak
made
up.
sure they have a voice.
They
alright.
certainly do, but sometimes that's really hard, right?
Yeah, they don't like me at all.
No, that's not true.
Well, one of them just doesn't want to speak to me at all currently.
yeah,
sadly.
well, it's the same with me at the moment too, so don't
Ah.
worry. We're just not the flavor of the month this month.
She has this thing where she'll only like one person at a time.
I know. It's like, it's
strange.
funny, isn't it? It's
I've
like
never
literally.
had someone like that.
Yeah, but that's just how she works. Like, she
Also,
has that one
Jake,
person.
thank you for saying I love your humor, Ethan. It's refreshing to
Keep
refreshing to keep me going. Thank you.
So refreshing. Keep going is what he's saying.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, anyway, keep going with the.
Well, I was just
conversation.
saying that, like,
I
the
just
good
didn't
thing
wanna
is
interrupt and-
no, you're fine. The good
forget
thing is that we've had this platform where the girls are able to have a voice and negotiate, right?
Hmm.
And that sometimes is hard, because there's times when I don't want them having a voice, but I've taught them to have a voice, and
I
they're
think
quite.
you taught them a little too well with that.
Well, I have to say, I think Jacinta is the world's best negotiator.
Yeah,
I think,
you
wow,
probably
if you can do this at this young age, we'll read it in a minute. If you can do it at this young age, then imagine, Ethan, what she can do, like, when she's your age.
Oh, boy.
And maybe she'll bring some real change, because she'll stand in that.
She probably would if she
Of
wanted
course,
to.
because now she has the capacity to do that, right? Or
Yeah.
the skills, just like you are. You're using some of those things that I think are really important, that maybe other leaders aren't thinking about, that others in leadership haven't been using, and you can teach them how to be more resilient, how to have that fighting spirit, how to think a bit
Yeah.
different, right? All
Yeah.
those things. All right. So what does Christopher say? I know you're distracted with it right now.
I'm
you
not
love the
distracted, but
comments.
I-
Thank you,
I like
everyone.
trying
Keep
to
coming with the
answer
comments.
questions for
Michelle's doing another one of those
Thank
emojis.
you, Michelle, for the
The laughing
the
emoji.
laughing emoji.
Because
It's
you were
great.
doing that, I think. And
Also, I think
what
you
was-
should read Christopher's thing.
is that because it was longer than the
I
emoji?
can't do
Okay, not a
short
problem.
things.
I got lucky. Hey, you can't do short things, or does it take you a little longer to do that?
Crap.
Yeah.
Look, it's difficult. Okay.
Okay, we're going to answer Kelly's in a minute. So Christopher says, I got lucky to find an amazing woman who wanted a whole bunch of kids. In other words, if the other
That's
person
great
wants
and
them,
awesome.
right? That was the secret. How do we survive? Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff.
That is great. I love it. That is just a great kind of way of thinking.
Isn't it? Don't sweat the do
Especially
you think we do that a lot?
especially with
Sweating the
family.
small stuff?
That certainly does.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
enough
so
of
what you're
ripping on that.
saying,
Yeah.
you're saying is, yes, there are some people
there are certainly
who
people
really
who
sweat that
who
small
sweat too much.
stuff. Ooh, they do too. I agree on
No,
that one.
I didn't mean physically. I mean sweat the small stuff.
Isn't that the worst when you get in a car, an Uber car, or a?
Oh,
it
don't
used to be
bring it
the
up.
taxis, because we've caught so many across the world.
I have bad sweating problems.
Oh, I don't think yours are that bad, to be honest. But like, there are definite people that need to use deodorant more often.
yes.
So, talking about sweating the small stuff, that's one of the things that I don't think that's a small stuff. And I think they shouldn't be sweating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on from that. Hey, Ethan. So here's a question.
Hi.
Do you want to read it?
Okay.
Hey, Ethan. Here it is. Here.
For you.
Question for you.
Okay. Question for you. Those moments.
In those moments of pain
and frustration, how do you keep that awesome smile? If I'm honest, sometimes I don't, but I try most of the time, not just for family, but for myself. Just, I used to actually put my hand on the table and just like crunch it, like you're crunching a piece of paper, to hold a fake smile most of the time. And then eventually it just became what normally happens.
That's so true, actually, Ethan. And here's the funny thing, Callie. You bring up an interesting question. You really do, because Ethan actually, I used to say, and this is why he was my hero, was if Ethan could get up every day without, with a smile on his face, then what have I got to complain about? And I literally would think that every day, because there were moments like I have never. What people do not realize is the resilience in this young man. Like, it has been phenomenal throughout the years. I mean, you're in such a good space now, but as a young boy, I
can say that, yeah, I wasn't always in the greatest of headspaces.
Well, it wasn't even that. I know. Just wait for a minute, though, because I want people to realize the resilience that you had, and the reason that it was so fascinating to watch you get up and have a smile. Like this boy, just to give a little bit of perspective, I remember
need to give context.
Yeah, exactly. And so I remember one incident, like he would go and have operations, and because he's allergic to so many things, he would react to things, and he would be literally at death's door, and they wouldn't know how to bring him back. So one operation he had, and it was a massive operation, and they put you on these really heavy drugs.
Ooh, I felt like I was.
But here's the thing. They would normally only have a person on that for 4 days at maximum. You spent 2 years with that drug. They thought I was bringing, they thought I was bringing home a child that would die at home. Now, I was really careful that we would have an environment that would make you feel. So I would always make sure that the rest of the house would be really positive with you, that they would sit beside you, that we would make sure you had fun games that you loved playing. We would just sit and spend time with you. And I felt it was really important. Your room looked out at the water, and I would open the blinds, even though you didn't like it. I would open those blinds every single day, so that you would have the outside environment, even though you couldn't be out there. And I'll never forget, this is at the 2-year mark after this big operation. I took Ethan to physio, and he hadn't walked for 2 years, and he got up on his walker. Now, he got up and then he fell back down, but his face was amazing. I took a photo of your face. I put you back in the car, brought you home, put you back in bed, and tucked you up. And I remember asking you this question. I don't know if you remember this, but I said, Ethan, what were you thinking? What were you thinking about in that moment? And for me, this was the most inspiring thing, because you didn't hesitate. You didn't hesitate at all. You said, Mom, I literally, when I was like getting up on that walker, I was thinking, Mom, you know what I'm going through. You know the pain I'm having to deal with. And if you can do that, then I will get up and do that at the same time. And I realized at that moment, it is those little things that are so important. And like you now being a voice, being the ambassador for Voice Advocacy Foundation, allows you to have a voice, so that maybe that will inspire and motivate someone else to get up, to have resilience, to go for it. I can only hope
that this helps someone,
Right? But that's the thing. And I think, what if we could be role models, better role models as leaders, as part of that new approach? Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I think you just choose to. And I think that you've had things around you that help you to be happier and to go for it. And I think also it's in your makeup. You are such a happy person inside when you're not having to deal with pain, when you're not getting frustrated. There's so much happiness in you. And I think, it's your humor that has got you through as much as anything.
Yeah.
Because you are kind of a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly so.
Certainly so. So D says, oh, sorry, Chris, wait on.
I think
Let's
we're
go
going
back.
a little.
We went ahead. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, Ethan. Okay. So Michelle says pleasure. D says,
Hello, Ethan.
yeah.
Hello. Sorry we didn't get to you earlier. We were in the middle of a giant story.
We were. But sometimes that's important because
That
otherwise
is very important. not
like
gonna
you
lie.
say something and it's like, no, this is actually where that's come from, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Christopher says, Ethan.
Are you a Star Wars fan? What about The Mandalorian? I am. I just don't watch The Mandalorian that much now. But I am going to watch the rest of it. Look, Star Wars. I know. I love Star Wars. It's great.
You do. Okay. So D says, so true to all that's being said. His resilience is very inspiring. And Janine from up the road. One
inspiring young man. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
You
so
missed
much.
that. Awesome.
I'm sorry. I was just so happy by that inspired comment. It's great.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
How does it make you feel when dude, now you get to help inspire other people?
Honestly, nerve-wracking, but I'm glad I can help someone.
Yeah. Why is it nerve-wracking?
Well, I certainly always was a bit nervous of speaking on like online calls and stuff besides with friends.
Yeah.
Always have been. Though you say differently.
I know, because I don't know, everyone tell him just how amazing he's been on this call today, right? That's the thing. I think you are natural at this. I think that you have so much to share with the world and you are so good at connecting with others. And, we need to, as part of this new approach to leadership, we need to create platforms.
Thank you, Michelle, by the way.
Ethan.
Thank you for...
Focus here for a second.
Sorry.
We need to create platforms.
Yes.
So more people like you
can say how their experiences were and how they can help as well.
Correct. So how do we do that?
I say they join this group and try and help when they can and with whatever they can.
Oh, that was good. I didn't even pay you to say that. Well done.
Honestly, that was just one of those random times where I say something actually quite good.
Oh, whatever. Okay, so some of the comments, Ethan, is you have to say that one because I can't even say that word. So
what? The Mandalorian
That's the
was great. Yes, it was. It was great.
That was from Michelle. Janine says, beat, not best.
Beat, not
What?
best. Okay.
What does that mean, Ethan? Janine, please explain.
Please elaborate. I'm a little confused, but thank you.
Okay, there
I
we
have
go.
a feeling it's a good thing.
Me too, but I have no idea what it was. So Christopher says, your story is amazing. You inspire me. Please come to Michigan when COVID is over and hang out with my kids.
That's okay
That's
with
the
me.
9
I'm
kids,
fine.
right?
I'm still so confused how you had so many kids, but sure.
Sure,
I'll
bring
try.
your mom. Oh, I'm allowed to come, Ethan.
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
I got the
sure.
invite too. Whew. And the rest of the gang.
So long as there's food. I love
Lots to
food.
see in Michigan. I haven't been to Michigan. Have you?
I don't think I have either.
No, I don't think so either. We would have a blast and you could speak to kids here and inspire. Boom.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Excellent. We love that. We do actually want to get Ethan on more speaking engagements.
Yeah, I'm even
as the ambassador
trying
for Voice
to,
Advocacy Foundation.
turn my life story into parts of videos for mums.
For
the foundation. Sorry,
you.
it's a little nerve-wracking to be a part of such a thing, but I'm trying.
Oh, you're awesome, Ethan, and that's what we want. We just want your awesomeness. Michelle says you're a natural, Ethan.
Yes, I saw
Kelly
that.
says you're amazing and you've inspired me totally. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Janine says, read the rest of my previous message. Okay, I made a
Okay,
typo.
okay.
Whoops, let's go back up here, Ethan. We
Let's check this
obviously jumped
message.
ahead.
I'm so sorry about that. Okay.
Where is it though?
I don't know. I lost
Oh my
track. of it.
gosh, like seriously.
I lost track of it.
We're looking for you on here, Janine. We may have to.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, am I going too fast, Ethan?
I'm looking for them.
Yeah, Janine.
Wait.
One inspiring. Is it this one? One
Yeah.
inspiring and awesome young man, inspiring all of us and our kids, although they still want to beat you at the games. Now I get it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to be a person I should be, or I believe I should be.
Yeah, and you do love your games, right?
Oh, I can't deny I love games. I've always loved games.
Yes.
Actually, I used to use them as a coping mechanism when it came to being stressed. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's ways in which we can.
I will say Dad didn't like that I relied on games, but oh well.
That's okay. I think Ethan is the way. That's hilarious. I think that's an interesting point you bring up is coping mechanisms. So because you think differently, because things like this is hard at times, right? And it's not easy for you to have a voice at times. And so there's ways in which I think we need to be aware to help make that easier for you.
Yeah.
And help to I mean, you can see so many people are supporting you being on the decision table today and love
thank you to all
the
those
wisdom
who
that
love
you brought.
what I'm saying. It's actually really nice.
Yeah. So if they want to know more about you, how do they find that out? Is that through Voice Advocacy Foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So concierge at Voice Advocacy Foundation. And if they want you to be a part of maybe some speaking to
Sure,
speak to
I'll give
people,
it a
then
go.
reach out on that. Yeah.
I'll try and give it a go. But I cannot say
Well, I
that
can
I'll
support
be
you on that, right?
the greatest at it.
We're pretty
I'll
good a
certainly
team,
give
aren't
you
we?
a go.
We're a pretty good team.
Yeah. As a team, we're good, but me, myself, I don't think I'm that great. I'll try.
I think he's really good.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I am extremely nervous, though, so I can say that.
Do you know what, Ethan? It's been such a privilege to have you here on the table today. Like, so good. But like everyone, I asked this question.
Sure.
And that is, what have you got from being on the table today?
What have
I
you
learned? What are you going to take? What are you going to do more of? Maybe what is it that you're going to take from being on the decision
these
table
great
today?
Talks, got to be on here.
Yeah.
But also, I'm glad that I've helped to inspire some people. That's good feeling.
It's good, hey. So that'll keep you happy, and you're about to hang out with your mate.
Yeah.
So you're going to have an extra happy day today?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit of work, but lots of fun.
Yeah. I think what I've got from today's conversation is just the powerful giving you the platform today and giving you the capacity to have a voice today has been really powerful. And I want to be able to do that using my platform that I have. And as I keep building out on that, making sure you said something really important of the inclusiveness of it and including
not just the one person, but the many.
Yeah.
Who he's helping or she is helping.
Yeah, like and there's just you just bring such joy and humor to the table, but you also bring such wisdom and in being able to make sure that we are more inclusive, that we maybe learn things differently or have struggles, but let's not write people off because they deal with that. Let's
spend a lot of time listening before actually answering.
Yes, you brought so many good things to the, Christopher just said mic drop. Michelle said yay. Mary said yahoo. Ethan, our ambassador for Voice Advocacy Foundation. So, again, if you want to connect with Ethan more, then at concierge at Voice Advocacy Foundation.
Yeah.
I'm sure Michelle will put the link into.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be working with Michelle a lot of times.
And
So let's get this going, you know?
Yep. And
And
you'll
Jotham,
speak
yeah.
to either Mary or Ethan, or we will figure that one out. Mary's the director of Voice Advocacy Foundation, and she will help navigate
Yes.
if you're wanting more conversations with Ethan or something to do
I know.
with
I'm
Ethan.
the greatest. Joking. No. I'm having fun with this.
I know you are. And
Certainly lots
that's
of
the
fun.
best thing. So, you know, we're going to finish up in a minute,
Yes.
but if there's something you want to leave everyone with, what would that be today?
Enjoy life to the fullest. And if you have family, hug them tight and try and teach them some good lessons, you know?
Love that. And son, for me, did you want some more? I thought there might be more.
No.
Okay.
I ran out of inspiring things to say.
That was very inspiring. But I want to say to you, son, thank you for coming on today. Thank you for always being a joy in my life, an encourager, a person that sees the best in me, even when sometimes I may struggle to see the best in me. You do that. You always care. And I thank you for being willing to step it up again today and come on here live and to be a part of the decision table.
I hate to have a look at the end of this stream when I'm looking back on it. I feel so cringy. But,
no, you'll be fine.
But I will be happy that I went on here.
Yeah, there you go. So if you guys who are listening now, those that are listening, please share this. The way that we create an awareness around what we've spoken about today is that each one that's been on here shares conversations like this.
And I would love to hear from some of you, you know?
You're
great.
on Facebook, right?
Yes, I am.
So they can connect with you there
yes.
too, right? Okay, so reach out to Ethan, comment or leave comments into the, the decision table, anywhere that you see the decision table, put comments in there. We will be looking for them, won't we, Ethan?
Yeah.
And Ethan will answer any questions that maybe people still have. And if you've really enjoyed this, please share this and get the word out. Help us to spread this
Spread the good word.
And spread the good word. All right. Is there anything you want to finish up? I'm about to end this broadcast.
Okay, yeah. I'll say one or two final things.
Okay.
If you're apprehensive about joining, don't be, because you can always check out our lives and get to know us sort of personally through messaging us. And I'm sure you will feel differently after so. But if you do not, that is fine.
Okay. So, keep coming on our journey is what you're saying. I like that. Absolutely. So Lasani, which is that's the sister to Maritha.
Cool.
She says, "Wow, Ethan, you look good, and how bless you, Maritha. Big Papa, love you. Huge love to you and Fiji, and thank you for joining us on this live. There you go.
Thank
Ethan.
you. It's really nice to hear that.
Bula Vinaka. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to end this broadcast now. So well done, Ethan. You have done awesome today on the decision table. There you go. All right.
I had to do it one more time.
You did.